Hey friends, this is Nate with Exley Apiaries. We are at another bee removal. Let me show you what we've got. It's kind of a unique scenario where we've actually got two hives in one house. Let me turn my light on. You can see them back there. So they used to span between that stud, that stud, and that stud. You can see the old comb back there. But the owners attempted to do a removal themselves and only got about halfway through, so it's still up there. Then that hive had a baby, and that baby, like all good babies, moved right next door, literally, into the door jamb here, and I'm going to have to take that one out too. And as you can see, it's behind the brick. So this one's going to be interesting, 2-for-1 deal. Alright, lesson learned. Just because their entrance is right there doesn't necessarily mean that their hive is there. So I took off that brick first. Nothing. See this trail of light colored wood? That's where they've been walking and covering it with propolis. They walk all the way over here, follow this trail. They go down in between these two studs behind this wood. So let's pull it back and see what's there. Alright, we're back. That oscillating multi-tool is awesome. Makes nice clean cuts in that wood, quick and easy. A lot of things that this video does not show is the preparation going into getting to this point. There's a lot of equipment that has to be set up, like my vacuum, which is running right now. The rubber bands need to be put on the frames, beehives need to be ready, smoker needs to be lit and kept going. So it's really kind of a complicated thing getting cutting a hive out of a house. I'm just sharing the fun bits with y'all. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes on behind it. So just a quick thing on this vacuum. It's just a nice chest. I've got a simple little small shop vac down there. Pulls from one side. There's a screen right there at the end of that tube to keep bees from getting sucked into the vacuum accidentally. Here's my hose, has a light suction, and then that goes in the front end. So I suck the bees up with this, they go into the hive, and then the screen prevents them from going into the vacuum. In that box is also combs, so that way they can cling to those and kind of congregate on those, and then when I'm done vacuuming, I'll take those combs out and move them to their permanent hive, which is down there where the rest of the cutout comb will be. So let's do this reveal, see what's behind here, and we'll start vacuuming. Turn on the flashlight so we have some light here. Slowly and gently. Oh, beautiful. Comes out like a cookie. Oh my. Oh, that's even a little more than I was expecting. Okay. Beautiful. Look at that comb. It's just incredible. The construction and the efficiency that goes into building a beehive. Amazing. Alright, one comb down. About 4 more to go. 4 more to go. What I'll do is I take my handy Sawzall blade and then I go along the top and I cut the top off while I have my other hand holding this comb and catching it. It's very light colored. It's very fresh comb, so it's actually pretty weak right now. So I have to be really careful with it, and that's why right now I can't take video while I do it, because I need both hands. One of these days I'm going to get a chest harness and a GoPro though, so that way we can all do this together. But yeah, shoot me a PayPal if you want to help me make that happen. Once the comb is down, I cut it to size to fit into one of these vacant frames, and then I slip rubber bands over the combs, that way it holds it in the frame as it's standing upright. And then that frame goes into the hive and will hopefully help keep the bees in that box. Still have not seen the queen. Alright, that's all the comb. Still haven't found the queen, but I have sucked up a lot of bees with the vacuum, and she might have been in that. She might be in the vacuum right now. I'm going to go ahead and vacuum up these guys, along with any stray workers that are still coming in. And in hopes that if she's in here, I won't miss her. Hopefully she didn't fall all the way down there. She'll climb back up though. The nice thing is that as the evening progresses, I can leave these guys alone. I'll start on the other hive, and they'll regroup around her wherever she's at. So that'll kind of give me a heads up as to if I got her or not. But let's go ahead and vacuum the remainder up. Well, I don't see the queen, did you? When we re-watch this video, maybe we'll spot her, and I'll be kicking myself for not seeing her, but it's kind of hard. You got to be a chameleon when you're doing a job like this, having one eye on the honeycomb that you're bringing down from the ladder, and then one eye on the bees on the honeycomb, and then another eye up on the hive that you just left behind, in case maybe she happened to skitter somewhere up there. But anyways, I think this is good enough. I'm going to go ahead and take what's in the vacuum, move it over with the comb that I cut out, which ended up being maybe 2.5 frames, about. So, small hive, but they look big, and she is laying like a champ. She is a good queen. These combs are full of eggs. Okay, y'all gotta see this. I just hung up the hive, the box, put everybody in there, put the comb in there, and I put it back up in the old spot where the hive used to be, and they're calling all of them in. Look at them all. They're walking over there to it, walking over to this entrance. They weren't doing that before. They were all hanging up. They still are. They're kind of bunched up around here. But now they're all coming in, and they can smell either their queen or their hive. I'm not sure, but I'm really hoping they smell the queen. They were wandering around pretty aimlessly when I took the box down and got it put together. So if there had been a queen up there, they would have been a little more concentrated and known where she was at. So I think this is a good sign. We will find out later. In the meantime, I'm going to leave this bugger up here. Start on the second removal. Okay, scratch that. I'm going to start cleaning up. I'm going to save hive removal number 2 for tomorrow. It's already been 3 hours. I'm pretty wiped. I've got a lot of stuff I need to clean up. So I'm going to call it quits for today. I'll check back in with you on day 2. Alright, welcome back. This is day 2. Let's see if they went in the hive. It sounds pretty good. I can hear them chewing in there. Let's move this a little bit. Yeah, that's exactly what we want to see. Nobody's in there. Oh, look at that. All in the front. Good. Good, good, good. Okay, so we'll leave them be for now. No pun intended. We'll leave them be for now. I'll come pick them up this evening. Let's go ahead and get started on the other hive. Alright, this is hive number 2 up close and personal. They used to be all the way over here. They were big. Goodness gracious. The owners took some out already. You can see the leftover comb from where that was. This one's a monster. So I won't have to cut through as much. They've already done the work here and pulled this piece of wood down from the eaves, so I'll just take that off and then we'll get to vacuuming and cutting. As I was getting ready to take out this second hive, I found the cutout comb that was extra from yesterday, and it has eggs in it, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you what eggs look like. But in this brand new comb, it's pretty easy to see. Isn't that cool how the comb is almost translucent? Like you can see right through it. You can see the little X marks in the backs of the cell. It's amazing. Anyways, those little rice grains down at the bottom of each cell, those are eggs. the queen will lay on, in a healthy hive, a good strong queen will lay around 3,000 eggs a day, mostly fertilized. About 10% of them will be drones, which will be unfertilized eggs, and these eggs will grow up to be worker bees. Now, if they were for some reason queenless and they needed to make a new queen, they would take this same egg, feed it a special diet of royal jelly or absence of pollen. Scientists aren't sure which yet, but that special diet would develop them into a queen. Up here you can see some larvae, which is just baby bees who have hatched from the egg stage to the larva stage. Now they're little worms down in the bottom of the cell. And that is the baby stage of the bee. Pretty cool. Here we go. Old mud dauber nest they covered in propolis. Alright, this hive is different than yesterday. It is what we call a hot hive. It's mean. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See? My gloves are covered in stingers. As they are pretty aggressive. So I'm gonna try to get this one done as quick as I can. Already vacuumed up a lot of bees, still no sight of the queen, but I don't think I'm gonna find her in this mess. It is quite the beehive. So this will probably be the last segment, a video I take before I take a video of the end product. So feast your eyes. I got her. Oh man, okay. So I'm gonna get her in the hive as quick as I can. So she'll check the rest of the bees in there and I'll have a done deal. Okay, got her in my cage. So now I can keep her locked up in here, put her in my box, and then all the rest of those bees are gonna come home tonight. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm gonna put some tape over the entrance and they'll chew her out in a day or so. Alright, fun turn of events. They not only were up in this eave, they're also hanging down back behind this plywood, this stud. So that's gonna be fun to get out. I got the smoke going because they are just so mad at me right now. But I'm pretty confident in this removal because I've already got the queen, and that is pretty rare happening for this size and complexity of a removal. So we'll get all the bees. It'll just be a little bit more work. Okay, they're out. So they ended up building comb so far back it was able to actually go behind this plywood, and because I had enough space at the top and I was able to detach them from the top, I was able to pull them out. I guess it's kind of like that ancient Egyptian mummification process where they would take the mummy and pull out the internal organs of the person they were mummifying through their nose. Kind of felt like I was pulling some crazy stuff out of a very small face, a very small hole. Thank you, Disney Plus Moon Knight, for that little nugget of knowledge. But next is going to be emptying the vacuum of all the bees, which there's a lot. Emptying that vacuum of all the bees into my hive box, and then tying the hive box up where the old hive used to be, just like we did with that hive over there. So they came out with about 4 frames of comb. There's the queen cage. The bees are already grouping around her. That's good. Keep her fed. But yeah, let's get some more bees in here. Alright, there it is. So not as ideally situated as the other box is, with its entrance right up against where the old hive used to be, but I know I have the queen. It's pretty close. I am pretty sure once they calm down and once the bees inside start sending out the message, shouldn't be any problem getting them all to come in. If not, I've got my bee vac and I'll just vacuum them up. So let's see how it looks tonight. Well, it's the evening of the second day. There's a little example of how things don't always go your way. Had the queen in the box, the comb in the box, everything in the box, and they all went back to the old spot. So I'm gonna get the bee vac, suck them into my bee box, and then just go ahead and pack up and go home. And then tomorrow I will dump them in to the box with their queen. They won't have anywhere else to go, and that's where they'll most likely stay. But I'm disappointed because this will probably leave more stragglers behind than I was hoping. But can't always have everything you want, right? Okay, there's where hive number 1 was. Came down like a champ. Just a few little bees left up in there, but they all came home and they were hanging out the entrance when I took that box down, so that's all good. Hive number 2, on the other hand, there's just so much bees left. I think I'm just going to do a few more vacuums and then head home. So what we ended up learning with this hive is that what I had removed wasn't all of it. This video shows looking up actually into the stud that goes up the wall into the master bedroom. It turns out that the hive was almost over 20 years old and extended up that stud as far as the eye could see. Rather than continue to destroy and take apart her house in order to get out the hive, the owner opted to go ahead and exterminate the remainder of the hive. I had already gotten out the bulk of the bees and the queen, so it was reasonable to expect that the bees wouldn't be coming back. However, I cautioned her to seal up every hole available in her house to keep them from building new hives in her home, and to also seal this space very well.